Let's have a look.
It says that we are now live, finally. So
cool. Can't see it on the YouTube just yet.
Okay.
But it should come through soon.
Mm-hmm.
There we are. Oh, shit, yeah. Nice, yeah, I'm in.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome.
Sweet. Let me just put the link up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on Instagram and shit.
What, on social media, you mean, or?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I've put everyone, I'm going live with one, and then, like, there's no link to the actual live, so...
Yeah. Usually what they can do is create the link like 3 or 4 hours before, and then we have the link and people can join the waiting room and stuff. So we can do it like that.
Gonna make this like a frequent thing.
Yeah.
We do it like every Friday or every other Friday or whatever.
Yeah, so for me I can do it maybe two times per month or once per month. Because I'm pretty busy, but I can do it maybe 1 or 2 times per month, definitely.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Yeah. Hello, Robbie. Yeah, it's going pretty good. So the markets are kind of slow now. We had a lot of flags this week, so it was very interesting. But yeah, on Friday after the London afternoon. Usually the things are going really slow, so kind of winding down and preparing for the weekend. So how are you, Robbie? How's it going? Hello, Antonio. Hello, Edmund. Yes, we're waiting for a couple of more people to start watching or joining. Then we will do a forecast. After the forecast, we'll go through all of the trades from this week, right? So we will do.
Yeah, man.
We will do all of the trades and top G. And then we will do a bit of backtesting and then a small Q&A at the end. It should be pretty interesting. So how has your week been, Sam?
Yeah, it's not been too bad, man. Finally had some activity in the markets. I'm sure you'll know about the pound dollar trade.
So the flag or the bomb, right?
Yeah, the bomb, mate. Yeah.
So I can open it actually. Let's present. Share the screen. Share this one. Awesome. Can you see it?
Yep, got that.
Awesome. So let's go to the pound. And I believe the flag was right here.
Yeah, that was the
end. So like what made it different than let's say the other flags? What was the difference? Because for me, I was not really happy to take it because, to be honest, we had like this first wick and then we have this huge wick to the upside. So we have kind of double wicks. And that combined with that on the pound that I know from backtesting, most of the flags don't work out. Like for me, the only flags that actually work are some kind of wider flags that are really, wide. So these types...
So you need a huge consolidation when you see that warning sign at this top of the entry.
Sorry, what exactly do you mean?
So you need to see a much larger range if you see those two rejections at the top.
Yeah. And kind of the whole flag formation, I don't really like to take it on the pound because, from my backtesting, like I took a lot of losses. But as I understand, you did like the trade, and it did actually go up at the end, right?
Yeah, it did unfortunately take me out. I was, I think it was like 10 or 5 pips. Took me out for 10 or 5 pips, and then shot off in the other direction. But the thing that was the main standout for me was the fact that the market opened up with a huge gap up to the upside, and then it filled, and then it continued.
Also right here, right?
Yeah, just at
Mm-hmm.
sort of the Sunday Open. And when I see that happen and it gets filled, I usually see price continue to the upside. It
Mm-hmm.
happens
Mm-hmm.
like 8 out of 10 times. And then I saw the bomb. Sure, it wasn't the cleanest bomb. Like we did have that huge reaction at the top of the entry, but then the subsequent range after that showed me that price didn't really want to go down. So I set my entry at the 11 o'clock candle. Unfortunately, got stopped out by a few pips, but I kept on going.
Also, right here, what was the stop loss size? 15?
12.
Oh, you use a 12 on the pound.
Yeah,
Oh,
I use
okay.
12 on the pound.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people like to give it a lot more space, but
Mm-hmm.
from my
Mm-hmm.
back testing, I found that 12 was the most optimal.
Yeah. So yeah, for the pound, and it did actually start going up after it took you out, and it made some pretty good percentage. I believe Josh was in. He entered down here because he had different data or something.
Yeah,
something like
different
that.
MT4 data.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you would have banked some nice percentage, definitely.
I would.
So
Yeah, it's like 13%. Yeah, it happens,
yeah.
Robbie. But as long as it
Yeah.
fit your trade plan right, it's fine.
Of course. And I mean, in the end, it was a good trade. What I really liked about it was, as you said, this momentum to the upside. I did really like these two candles right here. They
Yeah.
look really, really nice. So yeah, we can start the forecast now. I will do EU, AU, and NJ, and then we can switch to your screen, and we can do the rest of the free. Does that sound good?
Yeah, man. Sounds sweet.
Awesome.
Let's get it done.
Awesome. Okay, so then let's go back from this replay crap and let's go to EU. So currently, well, I was looking to sell, was definitely looking to sell right here, but I want to see it continue a bit more to the downside. And unfortunately, what happened is we got like a huge wick. So that was a big warning sign. And at that point, I was waiting for like a larger range. So at that point, it was kind of a no trade. And then it just started ranging around. It would have also, no, it actually would have not tapped the inside bar. So this would have been my entry area right here, this inside bar. That's what we usually trade, right?
So you're willing to sell after the 8 o'clock candle?
Sorry?
So you're willing to sell after the 8 o'clock candle this morning?
No. I was not willing to sell, but I was actually looking for it to continue a bit more. I was starting to see.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I was starting to see it gain some more momentum, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed. So usually on a Friday we get the Friday sell-off. Usually the market sells off like really, really bad. There are some large moves to the downside, for example.
Everyone trying to get out of their positions, aren't they?
Drastically. Yeah. So I expect on a Friday for it to go down. So any sell that happens is kind of even more high probability in my personal opinion, and in my back testing, and also in my live trading for the past few months. Definitely noticed it dropping to a downside on a Friday. So, but just this week was a big concern, and now I'm just not taking any sort of trades. Also, my cutoff time is like 5 p.m. on Friday, London time. What's your cutoff time?
Mine's in 2 hours, 3 p.m.
Oh, you are at 3 p.m. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the GU trade that dropped drastically. It happened at 3 or 4.
When I saw it didn't get tagged into your FTMO, I was feeling for you, man. That went.
Yeah.
It's like 50R, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was some huge
It was crazy.
Yeah, but it happens, I now connected the trade copier in a different way. So now the trade copier executes the same time my master executes on IC markets. I get executed in my FTMO, so there are no pending orders or stop losses. It's just straight through connected. I guess that's a much better way. So we will see. We shall definitely see.
Definitely. I guess I do the same thing, to be fair. I guess the risk with that is, say if IC, because the spreads on FTMO are usually much worse than they will be for IC markets, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
Slipped out. And I think also the boys were discussing this week where Marco, not Marco, sorry, Griff. Didn't he get slipped out for like 10 pips or something crazy?
Yeah, Griff had some major issues where
Yeah.
it kind of went 5 or 6 pips when it copied the trade because it lagged for even 2 minutes or something like
Yeah,
that, which
2
is
minutes.
really bad. Yeah, that's that's pretty bad. You're going to get some big losses if it happens
Yeah.
for more than 2 or 3 minutes, because the price can just tag you in and drop immediately. Usually on the open or on the close of the candle, we get the most volatility. That's what I have seen.
Yeah.
So yeah. But okay, let's now continue with this one. So what I'm looking for next week, because currently I'm just not seeing that a opportunity will form in the next 3 or 4 hours. So I expect a range, to be honest, because Monday and Tuesday usually range bound days. I have seen a huge wick. Per RPA, not looking that good. We have these loads of wicks to downside, so loads of wicks to the upside, and just too many wicks. I am definitely expecting a range, but the overall price, it's looking good. I mean, it has trended up here, then it started a downtrend. It's not sideways like this.
Yeah.
Here it was clearly sideways, so it has potential to maybe start trending. Looks like the market condition may be changing to a trending one. I will see to get in on a nice push down or a nice push up. That's what I'm most interested in. The rest, I'm just expecting a range. So now we can switch to AU. So for AU, I was looking for a sell, but this candle showed me weakness and showed me a large wick, so that was pretty bad.
I was watching for that as well.
Yeah, definitely was watching for that one. Let's go through the replay right here. Yeah, so prior PA, I was also looking for a sell even before. Like at this point, this was not really enough for me because of the V. Right, the V reversal where we usually get the V and then we just range around. But then it did continue down. At that point, I was looking to get in maybe on a nice combo trade, something like this, for it to pause a bit, give me a few candles. I did not have an order on to not get tagged into a straight retrace. That would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, Impulse ended with a huge wick. So at that point, I was no longer looking for any sort of a setup. It did then continue down. So ranged around, then continued down. Then we paused a bit. And at that point, I was looking for it to maybe crash through the low. As I said, the Friday sell-off, it's a really good thing on a Friday to be in a sell. Usually the market drops. So if we got a clean close like this, I would most probably be placing an order, but it would need to be a big candle with a nice clean close. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Instead, we broke the low, retraced, left a huge wick down, huge wick up. So for now, it looks more descending. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I concur with you, really. It's the exact same. I was looking for that sell-off as well. I was getting a bit excited for it, but then when you see double wicks on AU, in fact, we rejected the the 064 level like 3 times. And it's either going to correctively trickle down or just continue ranging for the rest of the day. So yeah, I don't think there's any trades to be taken today on this. You never know, but
I don't think that today,
it's likely there's not going to be anything today.
I just don't see it happening for today. So I am looking for maybe it to descend a bit more and then give me a nice reversal. That would be nice. Since the overall price can start to form a descending, it already is starting to form sort of a descending right here where it just so it just broke this low, retraced, left huge double wicks, broke the low, retraced, left the wick. Maybe we get the reversal. But I would also like to see to get in on a nice break and retest to the upside. This is a very, very good setup, especially on the Aussie US dollar, where you get a descending structure and then you get a trend to the upside. Usually this setup and you get in on a break and retest works out most of the time and gets you some really, really good percentage. So we shall see what will happen. Again, it's not the rule that this will go up. It can also drop. If it drops, I'll look for a bit more evidence, since that is not really high probability for Aussie US dollar to get a descending then drop. But again, it can start trending down, then I will look to sell. That's about it for AU. Nothing spectacular, but maybe a reversal from a descending will happen. Now we have the, what did they say, NJ. Okay, so NJ, this one is still stuck between the low and the high. So this is the most recent low. This is the most recent high, so just waiting for the break of the high or the low. Again, we have the liquidity areas below and above. As always, look to see what happens in these areas. We need to wait patiently to see if it just breaks and retraces or actually breaks and gives us some nice large momentum and some nice evidence to the downside. So that's about it for my part. Let's now go through some questions. So let's see what people have been saying. So Robbie, it looks like Josh took the flag on GU and he took profit. Can you maybe explain his thinking? Looks like he took the second bull candle. Yeah, so I haven't watched the recap yet, the trade recap from Josh. But as far as I know, he got, during the night, he checks MetaTrader data. And on his MetaTrader, his entry candle was a bit lower. I can actually show this to you. So just a sec.
Yeah, he took the entry at 2 a.m. because his data on MT4 was a little bit different to how it looked on TradingView. So the entry at midnight was actually a bearish candle for him. So he didn't go through. But on the 2 a.m. candle, that's the entry he took. So
basically what happened for him, as far as I can tell, is that this candle was red, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, so this candle was red for him. And this was then the entry candle. So he didn't get stopped out. And he got lucky this time. So congrats to Josh.
Yeah.
for getting lucky. So that's why he was in this trade and made this percentage. Again, during the night, he checks MetaTrader. That's what I got from him. Okay, let's go to the next question. Let's see. So Rob uses a 15 pip stop and it stopped him out. Yeah, so because you entered on your TradingView data and he entered on the MetaTrader data, which was different. Abdullah says, hey guys, hello, what's up? Matting says some hands, so hello. Robbie, are you guys saying trade copiers are risky? Yeah, they are risky, but for me, they're mandatory. I would not do without a trade copier. If you have like 2 or 3 accounts, for example, I'm copying to FTMO, I'm copying to Traders with Edge. It's just too much work for me to calculate the lot sizes and then put everything 3 times. Too much work for me. I would definitely avoid it. I would get a trade copier. And yeah, the risk with the trade copier is there's the lag and also the spreads can fuck you up.
Mm-hmm. A way to sort of negate what we were discussing earlier with the risk of getting slipped out and stuff is obviously there's 2 sides to it. One side is you can have the copier set up in the manner that it doesn't just execute off the master account. It will create a pending order and copy over the stop loss from the master account to all your slave accounts. So it doesn't matter what price you enter in on the master account. It's always going to enter in at that pending order price that comes through onto all the slaves. And then, but then the other side to that is sometimes you could have, I don't know, a spread discrepancy on your funded account and your personal account, and your personal account will get tagged in and then it will leave your funding account and go off without you. So there's 2 sides to it, but if you're a bit risk averse, you can just copy over the pending orders and the stop losses if you want.
Yep. It all depends, but I think both Sam and I would definitely recommend getting a trade copier.
Yeah, it's too much work otherwise.
Yeah, so we use social trader tools, and you can check out also the Plikium. I used them before. They're a bit more expensive as far as I can tell. So look into it. It's up to you. Okay, so can you zoom in a little bit? Yeah, I'm sorry, the screen is really wide. I'll try to sort it out for the next time that I zoom in. Very good analysis, thank you. So, hey guys, what is the best advice you can give to a newly started trader? Well, if you're a complete beginner, I would say go to babypips.com. go through their free educational course. It's completely free. You learn every single thing you need to know about the basics, and then join a trading community. That's the fastest and the best way to learn trading. So we both did it. Guerrilla trading. That's my advice. So first, baby pips to get the basics, and then go and find a trading community. What's your take on this, Sam?
Yes, same here. Like it is possible to learn without a trading community, but you're just wasting your time really trying to sort of gather all the resources from different sources and put them into one package. If you join a trading community, all the resources are going to be there laid out for you. There'll be a clear roadmap on what to do. You'll be speaking to people who have gone through the exact same journey you've already been through. So they're just going to accelerate and sort of, you'll make less mistakes and learn from other people's mistakes, and it'll just accelerate your journey. So I would say it's definitely worth it. And also just show up every day, do the work, don't get lazy with it. It's not an overnight rich scheme. It's going to take a while before you become consistently profitable. I'm still working on it to this day. I'm sure Marco still is. I'm sure everyone still is.
So of course, for sure.
It's
there's still a lot to do and learn. Definitely.
Yeah, still a lot I have to learn.
So let's see. Who is his broker? So Josh uses Vantage FX or something like that. I think he uses the Vantage broker or some other broker, but he has a professional account, which the requirement for a professional account is, I think, $500,000 in your account and some sort of a certification or trading experience of at least 5 years. And then you get like the raw spreads, the really, really good spreads. You get the best spreads from a professional account. That's why he is like tagged in all of the trades. For example, Euro Japanese yen, can actually go through it quickly. So let me just set it up.
Is this the September trade?
Oh
no,
yeah,
August.
The August trade. That was a pretty bad one. So
yeah,
can you see the screen? Okay, let me now find August. September. Okay, here it is. Let me try to zoom it in a bit so it's a bit bigger to see. Okay, I think it's looking good now. So right here, yeah, Josh took this. And I think we all, from our little trading group, had an order on. Did you have an order on, Sam?
No, this was that week that I was off. I took a week off from trading, and then we had like 30% worth of trades that week. Yeah, I felt that one, but nah. It's a good trade. I definitely would have taken it if I was working.
Yeah. So this was an awesome trade. All of us from the group, except Sam, he was on vacation, placed our order, but it missed us by 0.4 or 5, something like that, 0.4 or 5 pips. And Josh got tapped in because he was on a professional raw spread account. He was the only one that got tagged in. So now we have a rule to actually put an order 1 pip above the level. So right here, and that will tag you in. That will tag you in on most brokers, I believe. So that's our little refinement now to actually put it 1 pip above.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've had the same thing, but I calculated it. I lost out on about 35% this year alone, just on spread discrepancies.
What? How much?
About 35% total.
35.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the difference between you and Josh, or?
But no, the spread, like the amount of trades that I've not been tagged into.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I had an order on. That price did actually come to that level, but the spread just didn't take me in. I lost out about 35% worth of trades.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
It's huge, right? It's huge. Yeah. So I think that refinement of setting an order 1 pip above is going to really help.
Yeah, spreads fucked me, I think 3 or 4 times. So on EJ,
it's a horrible feeling, right? You do everything right.
On Geo, where I did not get tagged, that was a big one.
Yeah.
And there was also some other trade, I believe. So the spreads are a pain in the ass. Yeah. So another thing, I'm with IC Markets, TradingView, and IC differs in price. So do you set your ranges according to TradingView or what the brokers display? So I always use TradingView, only TradingView. I never look at any other chart data. So for me, only TradingView during the day, during the night, that's what I execute from. What about you? What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm the exact same. I do all my back testing, all my data collection on TradingView, so it just makes sense for me to trade live on my on the data that's presented on TradingView. I guess the only time I really check MT5 spreads is if I'm about to enter position, like just over the rollover. So from 11 p.m. really is the only time I check, because that's when the sessions sort of change over and the spreads could go a bit wild then. So that's when you should check MT5. It's the only time I do.
Cool. Okay, that's a good tip. Yeah. So a question for you, Sam. Did you take the EU and AU trade?
Which ones? the most recent
I believe this week.
So yeah, I didn't take either of them actually. The first EU bomb, I saw the bullish candle at 2 p.m. that impulse. It was just one huge candle, and when I see that, it's usually a direct it was usually influenced by some news release that's come out, and like usually we see that happens, and it usually either just totally goes the other way or continues to range. And then another warning sign we saw out of that was the double rejections at 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. I mean, even though we did, you want
to share your screen, maybe?
Yeah. 1 sec.
Yeah. So I'll go through the questions, the rest of the questions. So did you guys change risk management for hitting the 10% goal on funded accounts? So Martin, we risk 1% for the challenge and the verification. We don't go up, we don't go down, just the 1%. And usually that's enough. So that's what Josh recommends. That's what most of us got funded with. I would say 1% for taking a challenge. Definitely stick to it. That's a really good risk management plan for a prop firm. And then once you pass, lower it down. So once you pass, lower it down. I would recommend even lowering it down to 0.25 just to be safe. So for example, I went to 0.5, got into a drawdown, and it was pretty bad because 0.5 is still a lot of percentage if you just have a 10% drawdown limit. So once you're funded, do 0.25. Before you're funded, go with 1%. So Matt Tink, greetings from G Mindset, one of 3 subscribers.
Nice.
Awesome. So, and then Bonnie says, "Nice shirt, Sam." So yeah, it is a nice shirt.
It is actually Bonnie's shirt, to be fair. I think that's why he's complimenting it.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, have you set up the screen sharing?
Yep. Can everyone see that?
Awesome. So let me add it to the stream.
Awesome. All right, you got it.
Yeah, I need to click add to the stream. Looks like it. Yeah.
Cool. So, as I was saying, this candle here, it was just one solid impulse candle. When I see that, 9 times out of 10, it's a direct influence because it was a direct result of a news release that we've seen. And then, unless it continues to trend after that, if we just see one candle, most of the times, I see prices or just totally reversed and give us some crazy volatility. It's happened loads over the past few months. And then again, another warning sign for the EU bomb was these 2 rejections at the top of the impulse. Although we did get the range straight after, I just wasn't happy to risk the 1% on it. I mean, sometimes you're wrong. Like this trade did go out to play out, and you would have made some nice percentage. But for me, it just didn't fit my plan, so I didn't take it. That's all I can do, right? And then on AU, I can see why a lot of people took this. I was very close to taking it as well, but I know Josh did, and a few other people from the community did. But for me, I was just seeing a shift in momentum with the way that we had that wick and retraced at 9 p.m. And then we had another sort of impulsive candle to the downside at 12. It's not the worst trade. Like if it fits your plan, it fits your plan. But for me, it just didn't quite cut it. You would have banked a small percentage if you took it. Did you take it, Marco?
No, actually, I stayed out because I thought it was a momentum shift. Yeah, so exactly. As you said, the two candles. Yeah, the 2 candles were for me a bit of a momentum shift. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
And I noticed like most of these types of setups, some work out like this one, but when they work out, the percentage they bring is not that huge. It's around 1, 2, maybe 3%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just being more patient with this one. Just something did not look right, to be honest.
I did sort of ASR and take on point what Josh was saying about these bombs that set up really quickly coming from momentum. So I think after I sort of reviewed the mistrade and setup, I took what he said, and I think if it was to happen again after I've changed my plan now, I probably will take it, because we did come from momentum. Although it was like a borderline momentum shift, when you see these bombs that play out extremely quickly, it's usually a high probability setup, which is what happened there. I think that's the reason why Josh said he took it, right?
Yeah. So for me, I'll actually implement in my plan that I can tolerate one warning sign if the prior price action is high probability.
Yeah.
So in this case, I would say it is high probability because we're trending. So there is like a clear two-leg trend. And in that case, okay, I can tolerate one warning sign, like maybe a potential momentum shift in these two legs. So we'll implement that in the future. But before this trade setup, I was definitely looking at this as being just a momentum shift. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Robbie says he uses 2 pips above or below for entries. If you're saying the rule is 1 pip to avoid not being tagged, that means yeah, for sure, Robbie. So it's good that you're using 2 pips above or below. It'll ensure that you're in every trade. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
And Trader UB, yeah. Trader UB says, I wonder if you guys did a bomb on EU. I think Joshua took GU, not EU. What do you think? So yeah, we just went over that. I didn't take GU, I didn't take EU. All of them were kind of, the range was not enough, and I was seeing a potential momentum shift in this, like Sam is drawing in this leg. GU, most flags or bombs don't work out for me personally, so I really don't take flags unless they look really, really good. And Sam, so what about you? You can go through your opinion.
On GU, yeah. So as I said before, I did take it.
Yeah.
We did have this impulsive move, and then sure we did. You could say we had double wicks, but I didn't tap the exact or come too close to the what level was that? 1.150002. Then we had the subsequent range. It ranged for what, like, what's that? 7-8 hours compared to the impulse that we had.
Yeah.
Price is just, the sellers are trying to take control and they can't do it. So I took the entry at 11 o'clock. Did tag me out. Tagged me out, and they just went. But that's life.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we can continue with the forecast. You're doing EJ and AJ and the pound. So let's go through it.
Sure, yeah. So as we've seen from the start of this week, price has shown us solid momentum to the upside. It could be because of the new PM announcement. I don't know. We don't really follow fundamentals, but that could be a reason that happened. Again, one thing, have you naked charted this, Marco, where whenever I see a gap to the upside or to the downside and then it gets filled, I do usually see price then continue in that direction that the gap happened.
So I actually haven't naked charted gaps yet. That's kind of on my list, but I still have some other things I want to finish. So because they don't happen so often, right?
Yeah,
we have big gaps, but they happen maybe once per month. So for me, it's just not that
high on the list of priorities.
Yeah, not that high on the list of priorities. But if you're saying that usually price goes up, so you're saying after a gap to the upside, usually price fills it and goes up, right?
Yeah, if it fills it. Cool. So we had a gap up here, it filled the gap, and then it continues. I've seen that happen like 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, cool.
So that was just another confluence for me to take that bomb. But yeah, throughout the week, we've seen price on a solid uptrend. We're now seeing quite a solid loss of momentum up here. So we went from sort of ascending channel down to a descending channel to sort of range bound PA. It is ranging, but we are sort of breaking the low more than we are breaking the high.
Can you maybe just zoom in a bit on the last part of the price action?
Yeah, sure.
That's good.
So yeah, we've ascended. We're breaking highs, breaking lows, ascending to descending. As we all, well, if you trade Gorilla, we all know that usually leads to a further consolidation or range. So going into next week, I'm just going to sit on my hands, wait for price to see how it plays out. Just going to have to wait for momentum, basically. If we see it continue consolidating like this, which I wouldn't be surprised if it did, I'm just going to sit on the hands and wait for the market to play out.
Yeah.
Cool. And then for AJ, we see at the start of the week, we kicked off the week with some serious volatility.
Oh yeah, that was some huge news.
Lows. Yeah, some huge news came out, breaking the highs and lows. Throughout this week, it did exactly what I thought it would do. It just ranged within this area, just tapped the high and went down. And yeah. So going into next week, we've seen this heavy consolidation. I would not be surprised if we then either get a continuation of that consolidation, or if the markets gives us crazy huge trends after the accumulation of orders throughout this week. So again, similar to GU for what I'll be doing next week, it's just going to be a simple case of waiting for the market to play out and then entering if I see my entry. It's quite simple, really.
Okay. So yeah, the Japanese pairs are really tricky currently because of this prior volatility. It makes
exactly
it harder. Yeah.
And then EJ, it's basically the exact same bias as AJ. We did see a bit more momentum to the downside, but as you see, it's completely retracing again. I can't see any commitment to either side of the market. So next week, it's just going to be a case of waiting and seeing if we get momentum.
Yep. Would you say it's creating like a V reversal right now?
Yeah, exactly. It happened here. It's happening again. I wouldn't say it's a V reversal because it's not coming up in the same momentum as it went down.
Yeah, it looks more like a cup or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a circle or half a circle.
Yeah, man. So it's I can't see any commitment to either side. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue ranging into next week. And if we do see a trend, we'll be watching, waiting, ready to enter.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Okay, those are all of the three of your pairs finished. So let's see if we have any new questions. So Sibu Siso said, my 12 pips stop looks so small, so he stayed out. He means, I believe, on the pound. I think
so
he
means GU.
on GU, on the pound. So what was your take on it? It does look really small, I have to say. 12 pips looks really small.
Yeah, it does. It was small, but I don't really take that into effect. From my back testing, I see I see these small stop losses all the time. If it does take me out, it takes me out. But if I see a small stop loss like this, if it goes in my favor, it's going to be a very good day.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And in general, in my back testing, I didn't account for that. I still ended up with good results over the 3 years of data. So I don't take that into account. But you can do, like if you back test it and see when your stop is really, really small, you can just decide to not trade it. I know Josh does the exact same thing as you do. If the stops are well small, he just won't even enter.
Yeah, that's why I try to do the same thing as Josh does. If it looks really small, I'll stay out. That's kind of my rule. So let's go to the next one. Oh, Robbie has a really good question. So for the big question, are you guys also going to drop the Gorilla strategy? Because I see Hannah Raphael went over to SMC. They're good with GT, so don't understand why. Yeah, so for me personally, I'll be sticking to Gorilla strategy because, as I said in one of my videos, you will not become consistent if you just keep switching strategies. Every strategy is going to have its bad periods. It's going to have its good periods. Guess what? SNC will also be. You will have a negative month with SNC. You're going to have no trades in 1 month with SNC. It's all the same shit. But if you just keep switching, you'll never refine and master one strategy.
Yeah,
that's why
no strategy is perfect. There's no holy grail. You just got to stick to one, man.
Yeah, that's why kind of most traders actually fail, because they do achieve a bit of consistency, but then the bad period comes and they think some other strategy doesn't have a bad period. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So if you don't stick to it, you'll never become consistent. That's why I believe both Sam and I will for at least for a few years, at least for 5-6 years, stick to Gorilla, right? We'll try to master it.
Yeah.
Like Josh has mastered it. So definitely sticking to Gorilla.
Yeah, I fell for the trap as well, man. I watched a few SMC videos, tried to start learning it, put work into it, and then I thought I've done all this work on GT and it hasn't done me wrong. Sure, there've been some negative months, but I managed to get funding accounts with this strategy. There's no need to break what's. There's no need to fix what isn't broken.
Yeah. So just out of curiosity, which month was that?
That was in July.
July. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a really tough period.
Slow period, yeah.
Yeah, July was really tough. That was hard because there was no trades for two months or something like that.
I'm grateful for that period though. It really molded my patience. Like if I look at my journal from the start of January, I think there's one period in February. I think I took 15 trades in a week. Like that's just not going to happen anymore.
Yep, true. And what I would say helped us the most is having an accountability group, like having traders that are going through the same thing. You can relate to them, you can talk to them. They're struggling with the same struggles. So the best plan of action is to get an accountability group, get connected, and do actually some weekly calls. So that was what helped me the most, having you guys, Sam, Edmund, Antonio, and the rest of the gang, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Of course, definitely. So next one. Martin says, I was wondering the same. Yeah. So where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years? Well, I want to be trading some large capital, definitely. With the guerrilla strategy, of course, really want to master that strategy and be making maybe the similar amount of percentage as Josh. Again, not taking the same trades, but taking similar trades, try to get maybe 150% per year with large funded capital and get some investor capital. Also develop this YouTube channel. Those are kind of my main goals. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. My main goal in 5 years would be to develop enough personal capital that I don't even have to rely on any investment funds or any of these prop firms that we see in the space today. Obviously, I'm so grateful for the opportunity that they provide, but at the end of the day, all my capital is with these firms. They sort of what would they say? What's the business term for it? It's a huge risk, basically. It's
yeah.
Because having all your capital with these firms, it's a great, like, it would take me years and years to get the amount of capital that I got with these companies. But at the end of the day, they just they control all your capital. Like I'm sure you saw the video me and Marco said with the bad experience I had with another firm. It's just an example of the sort of
stuff. Yeah, that was a good one. That was definitely a good one. So you never know when the prop firms will fail. So try to exploit them and make as much money as you can with them. Once they so when they're here, try to make as much money as you can, but you never know when they will fail. They can fail tomorrow, and then you're left with zero capital. So put all of the profits in your private account. That's the best advice.
100%.
Definitely. Yeah. So Trader UB says, would you rather take GU or EU for the bombs? GU for me looked much better than EU, but I didn't take any of them. So Sam, you took GU, stayed out of EU.
I took GU, didn't take EU.
Yeah. So you would agree with me that GU looked much better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. So Antonio says in a Bugatti. Yeah, of course, in a Bugatti. Yeah, Martin says on a beach with a cocktail, of course, chilling on the beach with the Bugatti, right? And Reese says, how much are you guys funded with? So I'm funded with 50K, currently doing a 10K challenge with Traders with Edge, which is 365 days. So I have plenty of time with that. And it's just kind of a side thing. And I'm planning on January taking another 100K. Again, I'm waiting November and December. Usually they're pretty slow months. So waiting for that January. Usually you get some nice trends in January. What about you, Sam?
I've got a 6-figure account with my Forex funds.
And you used to have a huge account with Leveled Up Society, but
yeah, they basically halved my capital.
Yeah.
which sucks, but it is what it is. At least they paid me out in the end.
Yeah, at
Jesus
least
Christ.
in the end they did pay out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty.
don't go with leveled up society, people.
Yeah.
Don't use those guys.
Yeah. So greatness peace says, please, which pair is this? This is the pound US dollar. This is the pound US dollar. Robbie says, with prop firms on payout days, has it ever caused you to miss trades? Because I hear they take a while to issue new account to continue trading. I heard, no, I didn't hear anyone having problems with this, to be honest. Like, I
Yeah.
heard some people being concerned with this, but anyone having actual problems, no. With the Gorilla strategy,
Yeah.
that is.
I think with my Forex funds, they don't even give you a new account anymore. All they do is reset the balance back to the initial balance and you can trade the same account. So I didn't even have any layover time waiting.
Oh, really? They stopped issuing new accounts?
Yeah, so after they pay me out, they don't even give me a new account anymore. You keep the same one and they just reset the initial balance back to what it started as.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. There is a bit of a layover period where you have to wait for them to make that edit on the account, because if you do request the payout and then you're in a trade, they're not going to give it to you until that trade's played out.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a bit different with FTMO, but it's pretty similar all
Yeah.
for all of the prop firms. So I would say it's not a big issue. Antonio says level down society. Yeah. Reese says patiently waiting for Q1 to smash the challenges. Yeah. So Q1 having some good backtesting results from Q1. Usually Q1 starts a nice trend. We will see what will happen. No guarantees, but also November and December are usually crap. So, yeah.
Yeah. Not this time though. It's gonna be great, right?
Sorry?
Not this year though. It's gonna be fantastic this year.
Yeah, this year is going to explode, right? November and December are going to definitely explode.
Exactly.
Well, actually, because of the whole economic situation with the interest rates and the Japanese pairs running around, we may just get some nice trends. So we will see. So Matt Ting says, what are the difficulties that you guys face being a full-time trader, relationships, family, friends? So one big thing is actually checking the charts on top of the hour, especially during the night. That can be a bit of an issue. And because, sometimes I'm in a conversation or I'm driving or with my girlfriend and stuff, I need to check the charts on top of every hour. I may not be able to check it at the exact time. I may be able to do it 5 or 10 minutes before or after. So checking the charts on top of every hour is pretty good for the freedom of time, but it can have issues with your social life. And waking up once per night can sometimes be really tough, because I can wake up, see I missed the trade, and then, well, I'm not going back to sleep. It's just too emotionally hard, So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
What about you?
Ruined night sleep. Yeah, you basically hit the nail on the head there again. Checking the charts at the top of the hour can be an issue. I've got an alarm that goes off every hour. It looks a bit obnoxious, especially when I was in full-time work. Just an alarm that goes off. I'd say definitely in the learning phase as well. If you have a full-time job, I remember I was having to say no to a lot of my friends. They wanted to go out and stuff, do fun things at the weekend, but I had to sacrifice that to learn this instead. It definitely has been worth it. But yeah, like, especially if you're working full-time, it's not like you're not going to get this overnight. It takes time. It takes time and effort. So yeah, I'd say sacrificing going out with your mates at the weekend, at the evening, and then also just don't talk. Try not to talk to your friends that don't trade about trading, really, because they don't.
That's a big one.
They don't understand it. They'll see you take a loss and they'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You might as well go to the casino." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's going to get discouraging.
A lot of my family members are like, "Yeah, what are you doing? It's just gambling." I'm like, you'll hear a lot of negative feedback from them, so just keep it on a hush hush.
Yeah, definitely keep it on the down low. So try to talk only to your trading buddies about it, because people usually have negative feedback and they don't understand it, and sometimes they're even jealous. So because they maybe failed before, so now they see you succeeding. So yeah, it can get pretty tough. So just keep it on the down low, keep it private. That's a pretty good advice from Sam. Robbie is waiting for Q1. Very nervous. Don't be nervous, but prepare. So yeah, everything is going to be okay. Just don't risk more than 1%. Prepare and definitely have a trade entry checklist, not to overtrade. That's my best advice for Q1, because you can, when you see the trends, you can get caught in some shit trades. So Greatness P says, hi, are you buying the pair? He is new to trading and this channel. No, so we're just doing a quick analysis on the pound. There was a trade this week. Well, it was Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday midnight, early hours of Wednesday, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
middle of
cool.
this week. But no, we're not actually doing any buying and selling right now. I've got an hour left until my cutoff for the week, so I doubt I'll be entering any entries during this live stream.
Yeah, me too. So our cutoff time is getting near. So Reese says, you guys ever thought of just sticking to trading specific sessions rather than round the clock? Well, the issue with the GT strategy, there is not a lot of opportunities. So I kind of like to maximize all of the opportunities I get. So I'd much rather trade the whole day, wake up once per night, and try not to miss any of the trades than actually trade a certain session. To trade a certain session, I would recommend doing it if you're trading on the 15-minute or the 5-minute. Okay, you can focus on maybe the London session, the New York session, or the Tokyo session. But for the 1 hour chart, one session, I don't think it's enough. What's your opinion on this one?
Yeah, so one session, I would agree, is not enough. I mean, some people can't do the waking up at night. Like, I understand some people need their sleep, especially if you have a full-time job and everything. But if you're going to do that, make sure when you backtest your data, don't include the hours that you're going to be asleep in your backtested results. So backtest the hours that you're going to be awake and active looking at the chart, and see what results you get from that. And if they're acceptable to you and you're willing to not take the opportunities during those sleeping hours, then yeah, go for it. But I would say just one session at a time wouldn't be enough for this strategy. But as Marcus said, if you're trading other strategies on lower time frames, one session will probably be more than enough for you.
Yep, for sure. So Robbie says, yeah, for me every hour, and when opportunities start forming, then it's tough during the night. It is. But if you have a process waking up just once per night, then just you need to ignore all of the setups that happened that you missed because you were sleeping. Because if you start if you start banging your head on the wall because you missed a setup during the night, it's not going to go good. So just stick through it. Wake up once per night, stick to your process. There are going to be plenty of trades during the day and you will catch them, so no worries. Just keep grinding through it. And he says when he told his friends that I'm learning to trade, the first thing they asked is, but isn't that gambling? I just said yes, no point in explaining. Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah, many people say it's gambling, and it is gambling, but the odds are in your favor, I would say. It's kind of, the casino is also gambling, but the odds are in their favor, because guess what? When you're on the roulette table, the zero, the green number is theirs. So let's say you choose red, they have black, and they have an edge over you, which is the zero, because when it hits zero, you also lose. So they definitely have an edge over you. That's why you have an edge over the market if you're a good trader, and if you give it enough time, you will definitely make some money. Okay, so it's now 14:58. We can do a check of the charts. What do you say about that?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Yep, let's have a look at the charts. What's happening?
So again, on GU, sort of consolidating. Did see a nice move down, but I'm not seeing anything to get excited about. It's probably going to be the same for the rest of the day. I doubt there's going to be any trades taken. AJ again, straight consolidation. EJ's just doing what EJ does, moving down and totally reversing. What do you think about this sort of move here?
Yeah, it's looking. I would not classify it as like a full V reversal, but if it does start going up, I think it would have some steam from
Yeah.
all of these V reversals that we saw prior, right?
So it's sort of
Because
set
there
up
is what
like that.
3 or 4 of them before. Yeah.
You'd be willing to take that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would as well. But we'd have to see a lot of momentum.
We would have to see a nice breakout to the upside, some nice large momentum, definitely.
What's your thoughts on AU here?
So for AU, yeah, currently broke the low, retraced huge wicks to the downside, huge wicks to the upside, not continuing down. So just indicating a range right now. Definitely. Yeah, not really seeing anything.
Same thing on EU, really.
Yeah, EU.
It is descending. Coming into next week, I'll be happy to look for something like that if we see it. But again, we've got no bias. We're just going to wait and see what happens.
We're just going to be more patient.
Yeah.
That's kind of on my recaps when I'm doing them. I say patient or patience, I think about 1 million times per recap because like 90% of the time we need to be more patient. So yeah, that's kind of like my main word. Yeah, so basically what I was interested to ask you, Sam, do you usually look at the charts in this zoomed out manner, or do you zoom in a bit? Like, do you actually focus on the last day of price action, or do you actually look at maybe the last 3 or 4 days?
So when I'm forecasting, I'll usually have it set for like the whole prior weeks, or this week's price action. And then when it comes to sort of entries and that sort of thing, I would have it sort of about this size. One thing I trained myself to do was to always have it on the auto scale, because I used to not have it like that. And then, like, I don't know, say if I had my chart set up like this, I'm looking like this, that move does not look anything as impulsive as it would if I had it on auto, because it keeps the dimensions of both sides sort of proportional to themselves at all times, and that really helped my brain with the pattern recognition going forward, because I used to just sort of zoom in on however I wanted to have a look at it, but having it sort of automatically set so it's consistent as you look at the chart is really helpful.
Okay. Yeah, I always did it without the auto function, or whichever the name is. So that's really good advice. I'll try it with clicking on the auto function right here. For me, it just kind of sometimes distorts the whole price action. It makes it really small or really big. So I like to fix it up according to my scales. But if it works for you, then that's awesome. I'll definitely give it a try.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I think it's right to do something.
So Antonio says, "Great forecast, boys." Thank you, Antonio. Robbie, that's a helpful tip. Yeah, it's definitely a good tip from Sam. So check out the auto function on TradingView, guys. So yeah, we'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes for any further questions if you have. But I need to shoot off very soon, so I think we will end the recording here. So let's wait 1 or 2 more minutes. Let's see if there are more questions. So yeah, guys, how has your week been? Have you taken any trades? Any more live streams with Sean anytime soon? Yeah, so I asked Sean if he wants to join today. Unfortunately, he had a tennis tournament, so he's a big tennis player, as far as I can tell. So unfortunately, today he was unavailable. We will try to get a live stream on with the 3 of us for the next one. We'll also try to get Antonio to join. So Antonio, if you're still watching, definitely join us for the next live stream. Yeah. So Robbie says, yes, how is Sean? Sean is pretty good. He's doing good. Just today he was not available to join the stream, so we will try to get him on next time. But don't worry, everything is good with Sean. Antonio has had -1% this week. Yeah, so I think I didn't take any trades this week, but I was in so much FOMO because I missed AU, the last AU trade, so I can now just share it quickly. Let me just set this shit up.
Which A trade is the one last Thursday?
The last, no, so AU trade that happened, the AU bomb, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it
On Wednesday.
then started moving up heavily, and I was definitely getting some FOMO. So it was this one. Let me quickly run through it. Yeah, so for me, I did not take it. I did like this prior momentum. It was definitely trending. But just these two candles, they seemed like a momentum shift, these two. So once I saw them, a bit of a warning sign, decided to stay out. I know that from our Discord group, half of us were in, half of us were out. And then price did start to move up. It was in some nice percentage. And yeah, it would have been a winning trade. So right here, you would have put your stop loss. So you would have banked maybe 0.6, 0.7, something like that. So good trade, winning trade. I was definitely getting some big FOMO when it started going up. So we'll try to implement this trade into my trading plan because looks like these setups do work out. So did you get any FOMO, Sam, when it started going up?
Don't, man. I was feeling it when I saw G tag me out and then keep going.
Oh.
I saw all these average bombs all play out, make nice percentage, but it's fine. It's character building, right? Psychology building.
Yeah, it's part of trading.
Mm-hmm.
Part of trading. So Sibusiso says, whole month I haven't taken any trades any trade too volatile. Okay. Yeah, so I believe there were some opportunities, but if they were too volatile for you, then it's good that you followed your plan. Martin says there will also be news about changing the interest rates by ECB. Maybe that will also have impact on EU pairs. Yeah, for sure. So currently the US banks, US central banks, or the Fed, whichever it is doing some things with the interest rates. So the dollar is kind of raging and gaining strength. But ECB is expected to also raise interest rates very soon. So EU will maybe start gaining strength. Again, we don't look at that. We don't care about the news. The news are not a part of our strategy, but we do care about some extra volatility or some extra potential for trends in the markets. We will see it through price action. That's the only evidence we need. We will see how the price action looks. So yeah, ECB is expected to make some changes. We will see what will happen. So I think that's about it. Any final words from you, Sam?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully I can make this a regular thing.
Of course. So definitely follow Sam on his Instagram. What's your Instagram, Sam?
It's bis_pips. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, so put it in the chat. Thank you very, very much, guys, for watching. This was really fun. Thank you, Sam, for attending this live stream. We will definitely do it again. I just have to check my schedule. I think we can do it maybe 2 or 3 times per month. We will see. We'll try to get the Sean on next time, try to get Antonio on next time. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Nice one. Cheers, guys.
Goodbye.